here. I was told it was on. Can you hear me? Okay, I'll try to do better. I'd like to thank you all for being here. We're here to celebrate Bruce's life. And I didn't bring my glasses, but I'd like to read what you have in here if you'd like to follow along. It's the Fisherman's Prayer. God, grant that I may live to fish for another shining day. But when my final cast is made, I then must humbly pray. I'm nestled in your landing net as I lay peacefully asleep. You'll smile at me and judge that I'm good enough to keep. Bruce was a keeper.
Yes.
I knew Bruce when we were a lot shorter. He came to my house many times. We went hunting together, fishing together. He tried to ride a motorcycle at my house once. That didn't work out too well. I love Bruce and I love his family. And I'm going to miss him. But I remember great things about him and the goodness in his heart and the goodness of the man that he was in his. And I know that a lot of people have a lot of things to share. And I'm going to turn this over to you as you see fit to come forward and to share about Bruce's life and what he meant to you and the effect that he had in your lives. So if there's anybody that would like to begin. Ed.
For those of you who don't know me, my name's Ed. I'm your little brother. Well, the middle brother. My little brother's right here. Tonight, in general, I went up, couldn't get any closer than the bridge. He wanted to talk to me, and I couldn't talk to him, so I wrote him a note. And I said I was going to be okay, but now looking up with all you guys, I might be a bumbling mess, so here it goes. To my best big brother, aka Big Al, I am so sorry. Never had any idea your heart was so sad. If I could have done something, you know I would have. Julie and I loved having you for Christmas dinner. I will never forget you. We will never forget you. Don't worry about Duke. I will lay him to rest behind the house and make him a cross with his name on it. Won't say I'll see you soon. We will see you. Oh, excuse me. Won't say I'll see you. Won't say I'll see. I'm sorry. Won't say I'll see you soon, but we will see each other again. I can say I will miss you greatly. I hope you're with Papa. If you are, give him a great big hug from your sister-in-law, Julie, and your little brother, Ed. Thank you for being my brother. Born Bruce Albert Nelson, September 29th, 1962. Died Bruce Albert Nelson, December 26th, 2015. Thank you. If anybody else has something to share,
name's Don Slocum. I've known him since 3rd grade. We had some great time. There's one I can remember. It was an elk hunting trip. And it was over around a little town of Dale, which is in the Hefner unit. And opening day, we got up pretty early. It was dark out, and had some coffee and getting ready to go. And Bruce, being the cowboy he was, had his cowboy boots, and he was real proud of those. And I said, Bruce, are you going to hunt those? And he goes, yeah. He says, these are what I'm comfortable in. I said, okay, this is deep country. And he says, I'll do it, buddy. And I said, okay. So we were getting ready, and Bruce was real proud of a pair of long johns that him and Deb went to Coastal Farm and bought. And he said, these were cheap. He said, they were Flems, and we got a really good deal, so I bought a couple pair of them. And he was there trying to put them on, and we got one leg in him, and sticking his other leg in him, and they came up about halfway to cover his butt. And we ended up modifying them a little bit so we could get them the rest of the way on, but we got it done. And then I was looking at my dad, and his wife washed his, and they were pink, so we had a pretty good laugh about that morning. But anyway, we got in the trucks, and we went to this place called the North Face, and it drops down into the John Day River. And we started the hunt. It's about a 5-mile run. And I shot my bull first thing, and I talked to the guys on the walkie-talkie, and I said, I'm going to stay here and take care of mine, and you guys keep hunting. Good luck. Well, we all ended up getting bulls on that one run that day. And to this day, as far as I know, we're still in the John Day store, the Dale store, with all of our pictures in the back of my brother's truck with our 4 bulls. And we had to forage a couple of my bull and Bruce's bull across the John Day River. Mind you, it was 20 degrees out. The water was a little cold, and I forged mine in a pretty shallow spot of the water, and my brother and Bruce forged his, I think, in the deepest and the swiftest spot that they could, and it was pretty wide. Well, the only way they could get across the river is by walking themselves, and they were waist deep in pretty swift cold water. I was in the water for approximately a minute, and my feet were aching. The water was so cold. And all I can remember is Bruce and his cowboy boots walking on those slick rocks, and all of a sudden Bruce's feet went out from under him, and that poor man went completely under the water and came up, and he had a big smile on his face though, because he was happy. We went back to the camp and we started celebrating, had a few drinks, and was taking care of our animals. And bless Bruce's heart that I put him to bed with a 5-gallon bucket. He had a few too many to drink. But that was one of the most memorable times I have with him. Many fishing. Got a picture over there of him and I with 2 nice Chinook salmon that we caught on one of our many trips. And I can remember as kids at Hills Creek fishing off the big rocks, and we caught lots of fish and had a great time. And that's all what Bruce was about. But I was on Facebook after all this happened, and some of you may have seen this, but I'm going to read it as best as I can. Jeff Barnes, and he posted it because of his grandpa, which he was real close to. But here it goes. I wish heaven had a phone so I could hear your voice. I thought of you today, but that's nothing new. I thought about you yesterday and the days before too. I think of you in silence. I often speak your name. In memories, all I have is the photo in the frame. Your memory is a keepsake on which I'll never part. God has you in his arms, and I'll have you in my heart. I love you, Big Al. And I'll never say goodbye, because that's one thing that we never did throughout our 45 years of friendship. So, this is so long, and I will see you again. Anybody else? You're welcome to come up, or I'll bring the mic around, or
This isn't something home is supposed to do. Bury their child. I'm not a good speaker, so I had to put it all out on paper. That's some of the things I wanted to say. I want to thank you for coming, all of you for being here today, with the weather and all. And like you, I'm deeply sad that this is sudden death. We're all going through various feelings over the next weeks and months. The shock, the disbelief, denial, guilt feelings, and even anger. As you can see by our picture display here today, many of you were involved in the memories we have of Bruce's life. When I married Bruce's dad, life became an adventure. And one of those adventures was our very first camping trip. When Bruce was about 10 months old, we were going to go camping. So we went to Cresswell, bought an army tent, didn't have a floor, didn't have windows, but boy, we had fun. He was just a little guy, but we had him between us in our sleeping bags. And I don't think I slept the night. I once got night because I was so worried about this little bundle that might get squished between us. But with this situation, please realize, no matter how much we love Bruce, we could not control his life. Nor could we prevent the time and the unforeseen circumstances that befell him. Some of you may know that Bruce's depression was probably a factor. This is what he suffered from, was depression. A lot. But now, we can be assured that Bruce is not suffering or hurting as he is in the grave. And my Bible, Faith's Hope, is in the resurrection. Or in Acts 24:15, it says that there will be resurrection of the righteous and the unrighteous. And in my Jerusalem Bible, it says the good men and the bad men. So thank you for taking the time out to help me endure and have better memories from now that all I will have is pictures and memories. And thank you so very much. Oh, is there anyone else that would like to talk? Kathy? Would you read this?
I think she's got it on video.
I'm completely unprepared, so please bear with me. I'm Bruce's cousin. I'm the oldest of the grandkids. My sister and I grew up in Eugene, and it was always so much fun to come to Junction with our Junction City cousins. And this was a time when kids weren't helicopter parented. And I have such great memories of coming down and staying at Grandma and Grandpa's on spring break, which is right across the street from the Nelson family. And Will and Kim and all of us with our bikes. I know this is politically incorrect, but we were like wild Indians. We rode bikes up Territorial Road, and we rode over to the dairy and looked at the cows, and we just did all kinds of things we didn't get to do when we were in Eugene.